What's up, everyone? Justin here, back with my final part 4 of WWE's 50 Greatest Women's List. This is part 4, where I would talk about number 8 to number 1. Here we go. Number 7 was, number 8 was Elita. I talked about her a bit. I believe I got cut off at the end of my video, part 3. Check out part 1 and 2 and 3, and hopefully you're watching part 4. So number 8 was Elita. Well deserved. I was a big fan of her, and God, I thought she was really attractive when she was in WWE. And she was great. She was great with the Hardys, Team Extreme. She was great by herself. She was great with Edge. She had, I believe, one of the highest rated segments in Raw. Not of all time, but one of the highest rated. I think it was 06, 07. But anyways, with Edge. Live sex celebration. So, yeah, WWE and WWF got away with a lot. During the Attitude Era and after it. They got away with so much. And now, probably none of that will be seen on the Peacock, that is. So Lita, well-deserved. First ever women's cage match. Many-time women's champion. She's a legend. She's a Hall of Famer. Also, outside of wrestling, Lita is a super nice person. Really nice to her fans. Really good person. She works with a lot of animals and raises money for animals, and probably works for animal charities. So number 7, Alundra Blaze. Well deserved. She's earned it because of what she did, how she got into wrestling. It was a different business. It was a lot tougher, harder to get into when she got in it in the late 80s. She's starring the AWA. I think she's even AWA Women's Champion. I think they did have a women's title at one point. It was basically Medusa. Sherry Martel was in the AWA before WWF. And a lot of probably other women from WWF were in the AWA, but they didn't have very many good women, except Medusa and Sherry Martel. And then she became Medusa, went to WCW. She was very good in the Dangerous Alliance. Very good. Then she came to the WWF in 93. Probably went there because she was in ECW actually at the end of 93 for a short time. Like maybe one match. She I think it's on ECW TV in 93. She was feuding with Sherry Martel. They were like going back and forth on the mic. But I don't know if Medusa ever wrestled in ECW. I don't think so. But she did a little program with Sherry Martel. Basically, she's on a mic. I think it said Medusa was from Japan because she was in Japan at the time. And Paul Heyman knew her, of course, and got her on ECW TV. And basically, she's on a mic just shooting, going off on Sherry Martel. And then I think they started fighting in a hotel lobby or something on TV. I don't remember. But Alundra Blaze came to WWF probably because she was promised by Vince, you'll be the women's champion, you'll be the face of the women's division. We're going to bring back the women's title. She did win the WWF Women's Championship. She was a very good champion, a very long reigning champion. I don't know where she defended it. a couple times, like 2 or 3 times only on pay-per-views. She's barely, not much, a little bit on Monday Night Raw, but I think she's mostly on Superstars because I didn't see her much. And I think she's in WWF a year or two, over a year, or I think till the end of 95, I believe. She was there until the end of, after Survivor Series, of course, she jumped ship and made history, dropped the women's title in the trash on a live Nitro. That was huge to start the Monday Night Wars. And if I was Vince, I would have been fucking pissed. But she got paid a lot of money by Bischoff, and she did it because that was her boss telling her to do it. I don't blame her. I don't got any hate towards her for doing that. It was disrespectful as hell, but she was doing her job. She was trying to make a damn living. Number 7, Alundra Blaze. Well deserved. She was at WrestleMania 10, but the match was like very short. Barely a match. I felt bad for her. She deserved a better WrestleMania match and moment than what she got. But she has returned, got put in the WWE Hall of Fame. I will say one thing about Vince. A lot of people bash him, say he's an egomaniac, all that. But the guy really buries the hatchet with everybody and can put his anger, he can put it aside. He let Medusa, Alundra Blaze come back. He put her in the Hall of Fame. He can definitely, he can separate business with like personal business. I'm sure he's pissed personally, but he separates business and personal feelings. And again, Vince has done that many times. Has forgiven talent that left him, tried to put him out of business basically, and said to him, F you, I'm leaving and I'm going to the competition. He's brought them all back. Alundra Blaze, he put in the Hall of Fame. He put in the Warrior. Warrior was a real fucking scumbag to Vince. He put in, welcomed back Hall and Nash and Hogan after they left him. So Alundra Blaze, number 7. Number 6, the boss, Sasha Banks. What the fuck? She should be top 5. Definitely. In my opinion. She's in WWE's greatest women. Sasha Banks to me is number 3. Number 3 to me. She's right behind. I put Bayley at number 2 and Asuka number 1. Sasha's better than number 6. Sasha is definitely top 5 to me. I would have put her at number 3, but this is WWE's top 50. Number 6, Sasha Banks. She's fucking done it all. She's done everything there is to do. I think she'll probably be gone from WWE within 3 to 5 years. She'll be gone. I think she'll stay around 2 to 3 more years full time. I think she did sign a new contract last year, or 2019 she signed a new contract. Probably a 5-year deal. So she'll probably be around 4 to 3 more years. And then I think she'll leave and want to get into acting. She's already into Hollywood. She's part of The Mandalorian. I don't watch that show, and I don't care to watch it. I don't care about fucking Star Wars at all. And yeah, Baby Yoda's cute, but I don't care. Baby Yoda's not going to get me to watch The Mandalorian. But I did hear really good things that Sasha Banks is really good in it. Good for her. I'm happy for her. But I like the boss, Sasha Banks. I like her in wrestling more than anywhere else. Because I'm a wrestling fan first. I don't give a flying fuck about Star Wars or their movies. I never was a fan of Star Wars or Star Trek. Not a fan of that. I'm a fan of wrestling and sports and Howard Stern, and that's about it. So, Sasha, number 6. She should have been top 3, number 3. She's done it all. NXT Women's Champ. She's one of the best heels. One of the best heels of all time in women's history, in my opinion. She's a natural heel. She's okay as a babyface, but not as good as a heel. Sasha's so good. She's accomplished it all. She's main evented pay-per-views, been the women's champion on Raw and SmackDown, main evented takeovers, had one of the greatest NXT matches of all time, in my opinion, against Bayley at TakeOver Brooklyn in 2015. I think Sasha, all she has to do is win a Royal Rumble and she can retire. And she will have done it all. She could also win, I guess, a Money in the Bank. And she could call it the Boss in the Bank. Number 5, Asuka. I'm representing NXT. One of her first NXT shirts, or second, I don't know. Empress of Tomorrow on the back. I love Asuka. She's my favorite wrestler. The first time I saw her show up, debut in NXT, I was in love. I was like, who is this woman? She's fucking awesome. And Asuka, I'm not talking about her looks. That's obvious. She's a beautiful woman. I'm talking about her ability, her character, her wrestling style. She's a fucking killer. She's a badass. That's why I love Asuka. Her talent. She's legit. She's a legit fucking badass women's wrestler. She has wrestled a lot of guys in Japan. Before NXT, I did see a few of her matches from Japan. And my God, she's tough as hell. I love Asuka. She's been a mainstay on the main roster. She's one of the top, to me, she's one of the top 3 to 4 women in the company. I love her to death. Asuka, number 5, I would have put her at number 1 or number 2. She's done it all. She was one of the longest reigning NXT women's champions of all time still. Undefeated streak, longer than Goldberg's. She's undefeated for like, I don't know, 180 matches. Anyways, WWE says she broke Goldberg's streak, and I believe them. I don't know if she really did, but WCW bumped up Goldberg's numbers anyway. The guy probably won like 130 matches, but no, they said he won about 180 or something. I don't know. Anyways, Asuka's great. Again, I will always support her. Whatever she does, wherever she goes in wrestling, I will always support her. I love her to death. I'm a fan of hers for life. I just want to say, Asuka, thank you for coming to WWE. Thank you for doing everything you've done in the wrestling business. I love you, and you bring me so much joy. Every time I see Asuka on my TV, I smile. If I'm in a bad mood, if I'm depressed, if I'm sad, when I see Asuka show up on Raw or pay-per-view or SmackDown, I get happy. I love you, Asuka. You're my favorite wrestler, and you're number 5. To me, you will always be number 1. Number 4, Chyna, the 9th wonder of the world. She accomplished a hell of a lot. She did a lot of first-time evers. She did a lot of firsts. First woman in the 1999 Men's Royal Rumble. There was no women's. They couldn't add a women's in the Attitude Era. In 99, they didn't have enough women. They had maybe 8 I don't know, 6 to 8 women, 7 or I don't know, 9 women, not many. I don't even know how many. They had the Cat, Chyna, Luna, Sable, Ivory, Deborah, Terry Reynolds, Jacqueline, and a lot of those women did not wrestle. Mae Young, I guess they could have put in the 99 Women's Rumble. They didn't have 30 women. And if they did, they wouldn't have been good in the ring. They would have been awful because in 99, a lot of women could not even. Well, also, in 99, they had Tori. Not Tori Wilson, the other Tori that was a part of DX. She was a good worker, actually. She was a good wrestler. But WWE, WWF in 99, when Chyna was in the Rumble, they couldn't have had a women's Rumble. They didn't have enough talented women wrestlers that could have worked at all. They would have looked, the match would have been a fucking mess and a clusterfuck, and there would have been botches all over the place. It would have been a mess and embarrassing. And the fans wouldn't have gave a fuck. In 99, they would have probably booed and started chanting, "This sucks," and disrespecting the women. But Chyna got a big pop. In 99 in the Women's Rumble, Chyna was so over. Not when she was a part of DX. She was a heel. I did not like Chyna as a heel. And when I was at house shows, to end in 99, a lot of fans were doing, it was a different time. A lot of fans are doing disrespectful chants at Chyna, calling her a man, saying you have balls, you have nuts, stuff like that. Disrespectful shit because it's an Attitude Era and it's a different time. So Chyna got better in the ring, improved, wrestled, and beat up a lot of guys. She was tougher and more jacked and built than a lot of guys. She definitely could have kicked my ass and broke me in half. Chyna's legit tough and could wrestle the guys in the Attitude Era and legit beat them up. And you could legit believe that she could defeat a guy in a match. It was believable because of how she looked and how she worked. She would do that nut shot and body slam you, punch you in the face, clothesline you. So Chyna's in the 99 Royal Rumble. She made history. Also, she won the Intercontinental Championship. First ever and only woman ever to win the IC title. No other woman, I believe, will ever do that again. Sadly, Chyna was only in WWF from 97 to May 2001. Not that long, about 4 years. She was around about 4 years. Again, she's not the best wrestler, but she's a good worker. She was definitely better than Sable and a lot of the other women in the ring. She was not better than Jacqueline or Ivory, but she was not bad. Chyna was not around long, but she made a huge impact. Very sad how her life ended, that she couldn't get inducted into the Hall of Fame with DX. That would have been awesome. In WWE, you fucked up. You should have put her in when she was still alive. And when she got clean and sober. I think she's clean and sober before she passed. I don't remember how she passed. It might have been an overdose, sadly. She had addiction issues. Sadly, a lot of wrestlers did. A lot of wrestlers have passed from the 80s and from the Attitude Era. A lot of them. I don't know, not that many from the Attitude Era, I guess. Also, I want to say about Chyna, she was a great guest on the Howard Stern show. She was really fun on there. Really good guest. Entertaining. Number 4, Chyna. I would have put her at about number 8 or 10. Number 3, Becky Lynch, the man. She definitely deserves to be top 5 or top 4. Becky Lynch started in NXT, and she had a leopard. I don't know what the hell her gimmick was. I almost said leprechaun gimmick. She was not a leprechaun. She was like an Irish dancer. I don't know why they told her to do that. That was ridiculous. She had to dance around like she was part of a river dance or something. But Becky then actually changed her character and gimmick. Dyed her hair orange. Got a lot better in the ring and challenged Sasha at a takeover, and it was great. After that takeover, I remember watching. Becky right there earned my respect. I was clapping at home. The fans at Full Sail were giving her a standing ovation for her performance against Sasha. It was great. I think it was 2015, that match at a takeover. It was damn good. Damn good. So then Becky came to the main roster, became the first ever SmackDown Women's Champion, became Raw Women's Champion, became the man, and got super, super, super over when the crowd instantly, the crowd made Becky a top star. Because Becky was held down for a long time. She was not booked right. She was booked like shit, lost a lot, and they didn't book her like they gave a fuck about her. They booked her like they forgot she was a part of the main roster. But the fans loved Becky. They just gravitated towards her and absolutely pushed her, and they forced. The word I want to use is WWE was forced. The fans forced WWE to book Becky as a top star and a top draw. She had a great match at Evolution against Charlotte. She main evented. The first ever women to main event WrestleMania was Becky Lynch and Charlotte and Ronda. You couldn't have had that main event without Becky. You couldn't have. It would have been better if it was Becky, Ronda, but it wasn't. Becky Lynch, number 3. To me, she's top 5. Definitely in the top 5. I'd put her at number 4 or 5. Number 2, Charlotte Flair, the Queen. Love her or hate her. Like her or not, you gotta respect her and what she's done in the ring. She's one of the best women athletes I've ever seen. As a woman wrestler, she's one of the best. I've never seen any other woman do the fucking corkscrew moonsault, whatever the hell that was, just spinning in the air at WrestleMania. No other woman could do that. She's a hell of an athlete. She's not the best on the microphone, but she's so good in the ring. And she could not have the Flair name. If somebody told me that is not Ric Flair's daughter and she's that good, I would have been like, holy fuck. Or if somebody told me that's Ric Flair's daughter and if she debuted in wrestling and nobody knew, let's just say that. Nobody knew she was Charlotte Flair. Nobody knew she was a Flair. Well, if I would have found out she's Ric Flair's daughter, I would have been like, holy fuck. She's as good as her dad. Probably better in the ring than her dad. Her dad's one of the greatest world champions and heels of all time. One of the greatest interviews also of all time. But Charlotte is so good. She's so good. I love Charlotte. Number 2, Charlotte Flair. I would have put her at number 3. Number 1, Trish Stratus. The Golden Girl of WWE. She was really, really a major top star. During the Attitude Era. 2000, it was still the Attitude Era. She came in as a valet manager, and when I saw her, I was instantly just drawn to her. She had my attention. Holy crap, look at her. She's drop dead gorgeous. And I was blown away by Trish Stratus and how she looked. And my God, I wanted to watch more and more of her. I wanted to see her on TV more and more every week. Trish Stratus, in my opinion. Trish Stratus is one of the most gorgeous women that has ever been in wrestling. She's up there with Elizabeth and Alana, in my opinion. Lana, when she's with Rusev on TV, wearing those mini skirts when she's in NXT. Lana and Scarlett Bordeaux and Elizabeth and Trish Stratus are four of the hottest, most gorgeous women I've ever seen in wrestling, in my opinion. Those four women right there, to me, are some of the most beautiful, hottest women I've ever seen in wrestling. Just drop dead gorgeous, model looking, better looking than a model looks. I mean, they looked like movie stars. They could have been in movies, in my opinion. All four of those women. And out of all four of those women, only one of them is, or two of them are still in wrestling. Lana and Scarlett are still in wrestling. Number one, Trish Stratus. From a manager to just model looks, she was great for her era, the Divas era. She was fucking money for WWF. She was on every single Divas swimsuit issue. She was on the cover of a ton of magazines. She did a little bit of acting work. She's actually the host, I think. She was a host of Mad TV at one point. Before she became a full-time wrestler, she was also a host of WWF Access. Or X, whatever the hell that show is called, that she hosted with the coach. WWF Access or Access or something. Then she won the women's title. And she wrestled a lot more and more. And she got better and better and better. She won the women's title, Survivor Series 2001. She had one of the greatest women's feuds of all time against Elita. I would say not just women's feuds. Elita Trish is one of the greatest WWE rivalries of all time. Not just women, but men's also. Trish has done it all. 6-time women's champion. Retired as a women's champion at Unforgiven 2006. Came back. That was awesome. Competed in the Women's Royal Rumble. Also competed at WrestleMania 27. And for some reason, I think John Morrison... Who else was in the match? Anyways, John Morrison and Melina or somebody. John Morrison and someone else in the match with Trish. Maybe it's Melina. I don't remember. But I think Trish is... or Morrison. I don't remember. But Morrison, I guess, was rude to Trish during that WrestleMania 27. I don't know why. He blew her off in the ring or something, or had an issue with her. So Trish returned to the Women's Royal Rumble. That was great. Had a face-off with Sasha. Was eliminated by Sasha, I believe. Came back for Evolution. Had a tag match with Elita against Mickey. That was awesome. And she actually returned again in Toronto and took on Charlotte Flair, which was pretty damn good. Trish Stratus, an all-time great, a Hall of Famer. When she debuted, she instantly was one of my favorites until she retired. She was one of my all-time favorite women, is Trish Stratus. Trish was great. She was so good. Everything she did, she got better. She got better at promos as a heel. She got better in the ring. And my God, she again had gorgeous, just God-given great looks. She looked like a fucking movie star and a model. So, number 1, Trish Stratus. I got no problem with that. She was great. She was legendary in her time. She was only in WWE about 6 years. But she made a hell of an impact. And I'm sure she had so many fans and got a lot of other women into wrestling after she was gone. She left a huge impact. Number 1, Trish Stratus. I got no problem with that. Trish was one of a kind talent. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Bye for now.